work session with Brian. We're starting a little late. Brian, what we're going to do is I do have another one at 8.
Okay.
So we'll do as much as we can, and then I'll give you an extra few minutes later, as if I wouldn't anyway. As you know, I adore you. So. What are we going to work on today, sir?
Oh, I'm concerned about engagement.
Okay.
I'm posting, but it seems like I'm getting the same people are commenting and responding, or just giving me the okay thumbs up thing.
Yep.
And I'm not sure how to broaden. I'm still going into my neighborhoods and walking around and chatting with people and doing all that stuff, but I'm not sure what to do beyond that.
Okay. So on Facebook, if you want engagement, you have to give engagement. Okay. So I'm watching because you have some amazing posts and you have an amazing story and amazing images from your weight loss that you've had and everything. And you're getting a lot of engagement. And I watched it on purpose to see it because I was kind of like, wow, I'm not seeing a lot of response. But what that does is it tells me that you're probably not connected to a lot of people and or engaging with a bunch of people. How many do you have right now?
Pardon me?
I'm sorry, I'm so thirsty. How many friends do you have right now?
I think I'm about 1,200. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show you some techniques and some tactics because that's what the problem is. So you probably have about 1,200 and you don't really engage with a lot of those people. So how Facebook works. Facebook has all this stuff being posted all day long, and Facebook's computers need to decide what's relevant to who. What should I show to who? Because they want to keep you on Facebook as long as possible, because the longer they keep you on, the more ads you see. Does that make sense? So they want to keep you very interested. So they're showing you things that you're most likely to be interested in. So if you haven't engaged and connected with a lot of people, Facebook has no reason to show your stuff to them, no matter how good it is. And then the reason why is because Facebook won't gain anything.
Okay.
Not bad. They're just like, what does a bar want to do, or a restaurant or whatever? They want to get you to the restaurant more often. So Facebook wants to get you on more often, and by serving content to people based upon what they like, it keeps us there longer. Right? If I went on my feed and there was nothing that interested me, I'd go somewhere else. So let me show you some stuff. Sorry, I'm going to drink a little water. I'm just super thirsty. You know how it is, us supplement people. We drink a lot of water. Okay. I'll share my screen.
Okay.
You know, what we're going to do is we're going to go over, we'll open a new Facebook window. Okay. Now, what you want to be doing is going through your feed. So when you click on the F, you're in your feed. And Brian, if I say anything you're not familiar with, just feel free to stop me. Okay.
Okay.
And what we're doing is we're looking for posts that have a lot of engagement on them. So let's find it. Second. Like, I think this one, that's mine, has a lot of engagement on it. Okay. So this one, you see how it has 155 people, 157 people that engaged with it. So if we click on that number, all the people, and it will show you if it says message, that means you're already friends with them. And if it doesn't say message, most of these people are going to be like, this person is not friends with me. So I can check it out. I can hover over them. See, when I put my cursor over their name, it brings them up, and follow them to kind of check them out. Okay.
Right.
So if you were to go to this right now and you were to look at this post, you'd find a ton of people that you're probably not friends with. You can start following people. And what happens is when you follow them, they get a little notification. It says Brian Viger followed you. It makes them go and check you out. Angeline has a lot of friends in common with me. Hang on. By the way, I do this constantly. I'm always looking for, okay, I'm following her, but we're not friends. But going to send her a friend request. We have so many friends in common. So I was constantly looking for people that I haven't met every day. I do this all day, every day. And I'm also looking to connect with people that maybe I have met or I am friends with, but I don't really have a relationship with. So, for example, this is my post. I'm going to go back, like this guy, Arid. I don't know this dude, like, even though I'm friends with him. So I'm going to comment here and try to starting some conversation. I want to engage in other people's threads and comments, right? Fallon, I have forever, right? And I'm constantly re-engaging people and getting them talking to me so that when I post something, Facebook goes, hey, this person's going to be interested in Brian's post. The reason why I see your post is you and I engage a lot. You and, you know, are in different things and involved in different things. We have a lot of friends in common. The reason other people don't see your content is because they're not interconnected with you. Let me stop the screen share for a minute and show you something. Where are you? There you are. It's like a big spider web and everything overlaps. And it's always looking for who's connected to who. So, for example, a lot of us that are friends, me, you, Olivia, Ray, Brian, Jackie, Kelly, we're all seeing each other because we're interwebbed.
Right.
So your job is to interweb, make your web further by starting to interconnect with other people. And the best way to do that is work through people you already know. So, for example, let's say you were passionate about that post was about Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
You are. But let's say you had seen Gary speak somewhere. You get in that thread and you start saying, I saw Gary at this event and he was really awesome. Or I saw him and his mouth was so foul, I couldn't take him. Or, you know, whatever this may be. And I can go on Facebook all day long. What I do is I go on for about 10 minutes in the morning. I'll be truthful. I do it in like when I first wake up. Sometimes I lay in bed and do it. And sometimes I do it on the toilet. I'm sorry. It's true. Sorry, but you know, it's the truth. So I do it like usually in the morning, and then I have I go for a walk and I have some water and some coffee and whatever I'm having, come back in, do an hour or two of content work, and I will do it again. And I do it a couple times a day, 5-10 minutes, and I'm constantly engaging. So it feels like I'm always there. I'm not. Okay. And I'm always going back to my own threads, the stuff that I start, and communicating with the people who commented. Because you don't have a lot of comments, you have to go to other people's threads. So think about all your friends, meet the friends of your friends, get involved in the conversations. Like if Ray puts up a post or Jackie or whoever, get involved in those conversations. What it will do is it will activate those people to you, because once you've had some type of interaction, Facebook determines that your content is relevant to them. Know that?
Okay. So by engaging with other people that are commenting, I kind of raise my head above, and they'll start noticing that.
Well, let's put it this way. I used to never go walking in my neighborhood, right? I just didn't go walking. I didn't know many people. I haven't lived here that long. Didn't know anyone. And now that I walk every morning and I see people driving by or other people walking, it's like, hey, how you doing? Start talking about their dogs, start talking about this. All of a sudden, I'm getting to know all these people. So the people are kind of like keeping their eye open to see if Diane walks by. Oh, there's Diane. How are you doing? How was your weekend? How was your trip? Blah, 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 blah. Before, they weren't looking for me or hadn't noticed me because they had never seen me before. So when you're on Facebook, it's kind of like walking around your neighborhood and engaging with people, saying hi, connecting, commenting. Oh my gosh, your flowers are beautiful. That's what we're doing when we post. So if I'm walking around the neighborhood and somebody has beautiful flowers, my saying that or talking about what I picked up at the farmer's market or talking about the weather, that's what we do. And then we become familiar. And that's what we're looking to do, is become what I call a known quantity, or become familiar to people. Because when we're familiar, we're safe. So somebody sees you put a post about something they potentially might want to buy from you, because you're a known quantity and you're safe, they're not going to feel weird about messaging you and going, hey, Brian, what are you up to? What are you doing? For a stranger, they're not going to message you. They're not going to. ask for more info because you're just a stranger in a myriad of people in a sea of Facebook. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's super simple, Bri. And it doesn't require, like everybody thinks you have to have these big marketing skills. You really don't. You just have to be a nice person. And if there's you are, it's a nice person. I've witnessed it firsthand. I've seen you being nice, Brian. I know.
I have my moment.
Yeah, well, but Olivia didn't tell me about those. She did, but
yeah.
The other thing too is because you have dogs and love dogs. Anytime you see something with dogs, I would engage in it. Like for example, my friend has a bulldog puppy. Cutest thing, and I just happen to love bulldogs and boxers. And my friend Eugene has a boxer puppy. So I'm always on their posts looking at their stuff. I like babies because I don't got none, and I won't have any grandchildren for a while. So I'm always engaging on babies. You guys, part of the reason why I always engaged with you guys is because you do a lot of food and fruits and vegetables and farmers market stuff. And I love that stuff. Like I'm really into that stuff. So what happens is, like, are you a sports fan at all?
I used to be. I don't follow sports.
Yeah, you didn't strike me as like a guy who's like a real big football guy or something.
No.
Trying to engage on people that are talking heavily about sports if you're not that into it.
Yeah.
Just to try to talk to someone so you can get business is artificial. But engage with people that have dogs, well, you love dogs, you have them, and you have all these dogs around. And people that just went through the hurricane stuff. Went through that. You went through the not being sure of what was going to happen. Engaging with people that like fresh fruits and vegetables and foodies. Getting involved in some Facebook groups about food and the recipes and sharing the show and different things. And then it's really easy to talk about the challenge when you're a food person to balance your weight, and I used to be able to get away with it, but now I got more mature. You can't get away with what you used to. You eat too much and this is that. And then people go, well, what are you doing? Now you have an opportunity to have a conversation and offer them 7 days worth of product.
Right.
It's very natural and normal. It would be the same as if I saw you making a recipe and I said, Brian, where do you get that fry pan? You'd be like, oh, I got it off Amazon. No big deal. My phone's going wild. Who's calling me? Nobody ever calls me. I'm so popular, Brian. They must know I'm busy with you. This is an important message. Oh, okay. Got it. So that's engagement. And engagement really just takes consistent daily effort. Secret to it. I mean, if you want to run ads, that's a whole different story. But as far as building up like the type of engagement that I have, it's just meeting people and interested in them.
Now, should I put like a daily calendar together and say, 11:30 break off and walk around the neighborhood and engage in people? Or
well, that's up to you. And the reason why I say that is because like I usually go walking around 9 a.m. But if it's 8 or it's 9:15, I'm not really worried about it. If I'm running late or if I happen to wake up early and I want to leave the house early, but I know I'm going to go walking. So if you be disciplined and you need to set an alarm on your phone so that you remember to go do that, great. To me, it's just nature. I can't not engage.
Okay.
If it's not second nature yet, then sure, set yourself up with a little reminder, a buzzer on your phone that says, hey, go walk. I call it walking the block, And I walk, first I walk Facebook, then I walk Instagram, then I'll walk Twitter, and then I'll walk like YouTube. And so I'm kind of making the rounds. Right. I'm not really involved in the other platforms, that's no problem, but I'll post and I will visit around on all those platforms. And what I'm looking for is the hot thread. See, I'm not looking for the thread that has no engagement. I'm looking for the thread that has lots of conversation. Let me show you one other thing that's important for you to understand about Facebook. A lot of people don't get this. Okay. Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, this post right here, it has 160 people that engaged some way and 93 comments. When I make a comment, all of these people are going to get a notification up here that says Diane Hockman commented on the comment. Commented on the thread. So, what can I say? And when I do this, when I hit enter, all of these people, all of them, so like a couple hundred people are going to get a little note with my picture, right? My picture, and it's going to say that I commented. So like Justin just commented, and notice I get his little picture in my feed. So if we start looking at all the notifications, it's going to be Justin, Ray, Carla, Sigrid, Ariel, Benjamin. And so what happens is, see there's Justin again. If I were to keep looking, I probably would find Justin again. All these little people start to become known quantities because they pop up so often.
Okay.
So every time you engage with a busy post, all of the people are seeing your face and your name.
Oh, okay, good. I wasn't aware.
Most people aren't. It's a really fun little gizmo because I'm just looking for another one. There's Olivia. Look at her. She's so cute. So in this particular case, you have 9 people that engage and 15 comments. So I certainly can engage there, but not as many people will see it as if I look for the ones that are very busy. So look at this one. Jackie has one going on with 100, almost 200.
Wow.
That's a pretty good one to get involved in.
Yeah.
So excited to be wearing a pair of jeans comfortably that didn't fit. Plus I tightened my belt 3 holes since April. And so I can add in. When I do this, 200 people will see my name and face. So you see why walking the block is so valuable?
Yeah.
Taking the time to put a few comments and kind of get activated with people. But that's what really, and I'm looking forward to engage with people with good engagement. So like here, blah, blah, blah. Rachel has like 70 some odd engagements going. Great, great thing. And I'm just looking for places where there's a lot going on. Okay, this one that I did has 160, right? And so I'll post in the morning and then I'll go back and I'll talk to the people that commented. Like oh, that's nice, Don. Okay. So I'm just engaging. Again, I happen to have a lot of engagement, so I'll spend more time talking to the people that are talking to me. In your because you don't have a lot of engagement yet, spend your time talking to people that have a lot of engagement and all the people that are with them.
Okay.
So does that make sense?
So if they have like 50 engagements, every time I comment on that one thread, I guess you'd call it, all those 50 people are going to see that I said something.
Yep.
So they'll see my name and my little blurb of whatever.
In their notifications. So you see how fast you can become visible?
Yeah.
It's easy. It's easy.
That's pretty cool.
A lot of people are just so reluctant to engage in the conversations that they don't say much or they just like. You got to get in there. You got to get in there. And again, find threads that are relevant to you. Don't try to engage on, things about something that you don't know anything about. Like I like cruises. I'm into cruise groups and on all kinds of cruise threads and always talking about cruises. I love airplane travel and know a lot about frequent flyer miles and credit card points. I'm involved in a lot of those conversations. I'm involved, obviously, in a lot of home business conversations. I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm involved with conversations concerning, what else do I like? Music, concerts, stuff like that. I go to a lot of concerts. So I'm looking for things that are relevant to me that I have a little background with. I don't want to go into a conversation about, like, I stay away from politics and I stay away from, like, if somebody were fishing, I'll go fishing. Don't get me wrong. I went fishing when I was in Costa Rica, but I don't know anything about fishing. I don't know anything about rod or a lure. Or I'm not going to try to get into a fishing conversation so that they could ask me what I sell. That'd be weird, I'm looking to engage with people that I would engage with in real life. If I went to a party, who were the people I'd probably end up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be outside talking about the hot sports car because I'm not into cars. I wouldn't be, talking about diapers because I don't have little kids.
So don't go and create false dialogue with something that you're really not
right there. Don't go create false dialogue.
Okay.
Get in dialogue that's already happening that's of interest to you.
Yeah. Because that seems like it would be easy to do, is to just kind of talk with them and pander to whatever they're doing, but not really.
And that's what everybody does. And so they come across false.
Right.
False. I don't know why. I guess I was blessed. I don't have it in me. Like if I have nothing to talk to you about, I'm not going to talk to you for the sake of talking to you. So get something out of you. Always look for the thing I have in common with someone, though. So if we were to take like all the people in our group that we work with, everybody's very different, but I have something in common with everybody. You have something in common with everybody, whether it's that you live in the Carolinas, or whether it's that you love food and fruits and vegetables, or whether it's that you love your dogs, or whether it's that, I don't know, your fire, your kiln, that's a very interesting thing. So there's lots of people, by the way, I love watching your art. Gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Love it. All of these things happen. You'll notice as you start to engage with more people, and then you put up a picture of one of your pieces, you'll start to get a lot of engagement on that, because it's very interesting. But you have to engage with the people for them to notice it. Once they start noticing it, they'll all start talking about it. Because it's very interesting. People have a kiln, I don't in my backyard. I barely got a toaster oven, babe. So,
well, you can melt glass in your microwave.
You can?
Oh yeah, you can get a little mini kiln to put in your microwave, and you can melt glass and do stuff.
Who knew? You knew?
Yeah.
I ended up burning my face off or something. I'll leave it to you. I'll come visit you, and we'll bake pizzas, and we'll make glass things. It'll be cool.
Right.
Same thing, like, you had some health conditions. There's lots of people talking about health conditions online all the time. I mean, just anybody who's more mature. And it was funny. I joked with somebody the other day. How do you know somebody's old? I said, and they could be the same age, but how do you know if they're old or not? He goes, how? And I said, if they're talking about all their medical conditions. People who are vibrant don't talk about it, even if they have them. People who aren't sit around and talk about it all day.
Right.
There's always conversations about it. I mean, it's everywhere. People love to talk about what kind of medication they're on. They love to talk about their aches and their pains. There's always somewhere about that. So
when I talk with my family, that's what I hear. So and so's got this, so and so's.
Yeah, let's all sit around and talk about our medical conditions and what prescriptions we're on.
Yeah.
It's like clockwork. And it's that, and in my family, because we grew up in the New York City area, it was always what road to take. And it would be like this big argument. All the men would be gathered around talking about whether you should take the Bruckner or the BQE or the this or the that. And it was like this big dramatic traffic and New York City road conversation every single time. So, that's the engagement. It's that simple. It's that simple. Different people have different tricks, and people they do all these things trying to beat the algorithm. The way, like you see people going, you haven't said hi in all these posts, like you haven't said hi in a long time, say hi, or I'm not sure if you're seeing this. It's all baloney tricks to try to beat the algorithm. The way you beat the algorithm is actually to meet people.
Keep it legitimate. Like, this is what.
Well, I mean, that's me. I mean, can you try to beat the algorithm and get your stuff seen a little bit more? Sure, go for it. But in the end, the reason why people will buy from one person over another is they're a known quantity, they feel safe with them, or they've watched their results.
Okay.
It's really simple. It's I get so many customers just from having been seen. I'm not doing anything super special. It's just I'm visible. I'm talking about what I'm up to and what I do. I'm not selling, talking about it. I'm talking about, what I'm up to, and adding value by having conversations. Like this one picture of it, it's just Gary Vaynerchuk and me at an event I ran. Do you love him or do you hate him? Hundreds of people commenting.
Right.
I talk about.
Right.
You know, I didn't do anything. It wasn't like some big secret trick that I had that I posted the picture.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I could go ahead and post a photograph of us in St. Louis then,
Mm-hmm.
and just mention my friend so and so. Da da da.
Well, you could put. Has anybody else ever been to St. Louis? I thought it was a cute town, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about, oh, I went there. I like the barbecue place, or did you ever go here, or whatever. You can talk about. You know, you can put up a picture of an eggplant. Like Sarah,
Yeah.
my daughter's vegan. She just made eggplant fries in the air fryer. So tasted good, but they smelled magnificent. So you guys cook a lot of fruits and vegetables. Pick out something unusual and ask, have you ever eaten this? Like a kohlrabi or something that I've never touched. Okra. There's so many different things that are unusual.
Right.
You could talk about, how do you like your steak cooked? Which is interesting because people are very passionate about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's your favorite thing to throw on the grill? How do you know, how would you prepare this? All that type of stuff. Everybody has a favorite recipe. Everybody has a favorite way to cook something. Everybody has a favorite spice rub. So there's so many conversations, and what I like is respectful bickering about, you know, well, what should you put Montreal steak seasoning? Should you put on this? Should you just do salt and pepper? Should you do a garlic butter on a steak? You know, you know, I was at a steakhouse this past weekend with Ray, and they have all these toppings, and he's like, we just like steak, you know, like we like our steak.
Right.
All this junk you can put on all this other stuff, and it's great. We're purists. Another person can't do it without the crab meat, you know, steak Oscar or whatever.
Yeah.
Wants truffle butter. Another person, you know, likes it this way. I'm always fascinated when people want their steak well done. I'm going to pay for an $85 steak and get it well done. You know, to me, that's sacrilegious. To other people, they're like, how would you eat it like the way you eat it? And it causes conversation.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for. Like, if I were to say, hey guys, I'm driving from Miami to Orlando. What's fun in the middle? Is there anywhere good to stop? I'd get a whole bunch of people telling me all these places to go along 95. It's conversation, but that conversation leads to the familiarity. The familiarity leads to people checking out your stuff that you want them to see. That's where the magic happens.
Right. So even if your question or whatever you're commenting seems so simplistic, it still has.
As long as it's interesting.
Yeah.
You know, like, how do you like your steak done? It's very simplistic, and yet it's something that people debate, and will debate till, you know, I'm from New York, Mets or Yankees. Oh my gosh, you'll hear it all day. Like, the Yankees are the, you know, undisputed champions, and the Mets, you got to have heart. Blah, blah, blah. You know, or where I live in Connecticut, you know, Red Sox or Yankees. Oh man, you start a whole war over that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, down here, college football, the Clemson versus someone seems like such a big deal to them.
Yeah, I mean, and so if you're into it, you put it's you know, what's the best thing to have with a pork chop? You know, what would you go with? Do you like carrots? Do you like this? Do you like that? All of these things are the things that you would talk about with friends. So when you think about it, most of my friends are in the home business industry, so I tend to talk about a bunch of home business stuff because I have literally thousands of friends in the industry. But I talk about self-development, about my own fears, my own discomfort. I mean, yesterday I wrote a whole piece about being awkward and growing up awkward. I don't know if you happen to see the letter I wrote. And I had a huge response to it because it was just about me trying to battle feeling awkward, which we all do. And most people feel that way, so people resonated with it. In fact, I had literally an MLM legend write me back. I didn't even realize she was on my list. You know, just cheering on the letter because she's a weirdo too. She's a pioneer weirdo, which I always liked her. I'll talk about my cat. Put up pictures of my cat, which isn't my cat. It's my kid's cat. I hate my cat. I don't hate my cat. I shouldn't say that. I'll get yelled at. She's not a warm feline. Okay.
Yeah.
If she went with one of my daughters, I would not be crushed. How's that?
Right. I understand.
I talk about all my quirks, do you have a super neat desk or do you have a messy desk? Are you a night owl? I used to stay up all night, right? Ray changed my life on that one. I was an up all night girl. And in the morning. So people are constantly commenting like, oh my God, it's 7 o'clock and you're on Facebook. What happened to you? Who are you? Or I have pictures of me out taking a walk and they're like, who are you? Because they always knew I'd be up at 3 or 4 in the morning. So all the night owls would unite. Now I'm not a night owl. They feel like I'm a traitor.
You left the tribe.
Yes, I left them. And they're like, one night, I know where I was. Where was I? That Ellie Walsh. Do you know Ellie Walsh?
No, I don't think
Ellie's
so.
awesome. She's super fun. She's worked with me in the past. Ellie is a night owl and we were always up all night. And then I changed my schedule and Ellie would always be like, you're a traitor. And one night I was up late. We came back from Costa Rica and we got stranded in Atlanta. And I got in the room and I went on Facebook Live. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning and I was super wound up because our flight got so delayed. And I went live and Ellie's like, haha, you're a night owl again. I'm like, I'm not a night owl. My flight got canceled, or whatever. So,
but she was there engaged with you then.
And what you're looking for is things that people relate to. And that's as all the night owls related to the night owls, all the morning people, all the people that like, I never exercised before, Brian.
Right.
In my life, right? So now it's like I'm out every day putting up my picture of my walk. And so now all the people that love to walk and exercise in the morning are like, yay. And all the people that were up all night and never exercised are like, who are you? And so it creates fun. And that's what we're doing on social media is we're just having a good time. We're just talking about stuff like, and some note cards here. I like butterflies, all right? I can put things about butterflies. Who else is a butterfly person? What kind of butterflies do you like? Now, you probably are not into butterflies. Maybe you are. But if you aren't, you shouldn't talk about butterflies because you're not, I love music. I talk a lot about music. I post lyrics.
Right.
Yeah,
I listen to music all the time.
Anything nostalgic, any old song lyrics, like what happens is people, especially if it's something unusual, people who know it get all excited that somebody else knows it too. I put up 70s goofy stuff from when I was a kid, a lot of my teen idols and fun things from when I was like in 3rd grade. So I put something up about the Bay City Rollers and all the girls that are like in their 50s now are like, I love the Bay City Rollers. The young people are like, who is that? What that does is it makes people feel close to you.
Okay.
It's something less prevalent.
Some common thread that we've had from the past that we can talk about.
Yeah. So if you're like, I grew up in New York City and periodically I'll put up some quote that's very New York City TV from the 70s. Only people who grew up in New York City would know it. So the bulk of the people don't know it, but the ones that do like lunge towards me because it's so familiar. Or if I were Southern, I might go, bless your heart. And anybody who's Southern knows that's not necessarily your heart. I'm from Brooklyn. We didn't say bless your heart. We said think about it, or whatever. So it's regional stuff, nostalgia, anything like that. Anything that's fun.
Okay. Now, would you want to join? Like, I grew up in Detroit. And I'm involved in a couple different groups. One is a neighborhood group that in the neighborhood doesn't exist anymore. And kind of like, do you remember Detroit or that kind of stuff?
Yep.
So, but I read the stuff, but I don't engage that much. But I probably have a fair amount that I could share just because of my growing up like that.
Yeah, and that just connects you to people, and then people see your page, your profile, and they see your profile, and they see those pictures, and they go, "Whoa, Brian, how'd you lose all that weight?"
Yeah,
you didn't try to get them to ask you how'd you lose the weight. They just are talking to you about the old neighborhood. They come to your profile to check you out. Like right now, I'm going on a cruise next week. I'm in a Facebook group with all these people that are going on the cruise. I don't know any of them from a hole in the ground. I was invited by a company, and so there's a bunch of us going from there too. So we're just all starting to interconnect, and I've already met 3 people that live in Connecticut. just because people are saying, where are you from? Well, I'm from
Yeah.
England, or I'm from Connecticut or wherever. Where are you from? So there's like 3 people that are like less than a half an hour away. It's from engaging in a Facebook group about a cruise. Now, we may all hit it off. We may not. But bet your sweet Bippy, I'll have some samples with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because if anybody sees me taking them and I go, look, there's too much food on this boat, I got to watch it. Or let's say I say, hey, listen, I'm going to go walk the track at 9. If anybody wanted to go with me, we have a conversation. The next thing you know, it's like, hey, well, let me get you a sample. I'm not going on the ship with like, yeah, haha, there's 2,000 people I can sell samples to. Yeah.
Right.
I'm going on the ship with the intent of meeting some cool people, seeing who has something in common with, seeing if, it happens to serve anyone. But out of 2,000 people, let's say I meet 200 out of 2,000, maybe, because I already have interconnections already on the boat. Out of 200, there's got to be 10. But I'm not going on with an agenda. It's just I'm going to bring them with me. Why not? And just, I don't move them. So when I go on Facebook, I don't go on Facebook with the agenda of selling anyone anything in particular. I'm doing is making sure people know what I sell so they can go, hey, can you help me? Or I need coaching on this, or do you know how to build this website, or do you know where to get this tool, or what are you doing to lose weight? And then I'm like, oh, hey, let me show you. So but a lot of people advise you to go direct and just send people messages, and you can. You certainly can, but that's not what I do. I'm a social marketer.
Right. And that's what we've been training for.
And I'm very visible. So like, for example, you guys, when you're doing the show, everybody's like a little sheepish to talk about. It's funny. I find that novice marketers, they go one way, which is they go all the way over to the end and they start just soliciting people, or they're afraid to tell anybody what they do. And there doesn't seem to be anything in the middle. I'm going to message 22 people today and see if they'll buy, or I'm going to hide what I do. So you guys are doing a food show. You should be throwing in the weight loss. You guys are doing, posts about food. You should be throwing in the weight loss.
Okay.
But not aggressively.
So we can somehow weave the fact that we totally involved with food, but we're still able to maintain a proper weight and such.
Yeah. Like, for example, you might be saying we're cooking whatever tonight, and we're going to have a little dessert. But the good news is we can't overeat because we're using a supplement that makes the difference. But you make a big fuss about it. It's just like, we increased our vegetables, or we upped. Some bread is worth it. Like a lot of people don't eat bread, but really good bread is worth eating. Not bread on a daily basis at all. I don't. But once in a blue moon, there's a piece of bread that's worth eating. And if it's really good and it's artisan bread and it was just made, I'm eating that bread. And I talk about that, about making choices, good choices, and using supplements to help control you from going off the deep end. Like I was, I had a fairly good diet. I love fruits and vegetables and lean proteins, and I had a pretty good diet. But then I would lose it and binge and have a whole bottle of wine and a bucket of chicken and a pint, because you got to. So I'd be like really good, really normal, wonderful diet. And then I would get stressed out and I would go. Whoosh. So you add that up, bottle of wine, 8 pieces of fried chicken, and a pint of Ben and Jerry's. That's
thousands of calories.
That's like you're going to die. And then the rest of the week I'd have, salad with chicken breast, or, like normal meals like everybody else. I was a stress binger.
Okay.
The thing. Now I can't stress binge. Even if I want to, I can't. And that's the wonderful part about what we're doing. So I'd be like, oh boy, this would have been one of those bucket of fried chicken days. How did you stop binging? I'm naturally attracting them to me without saying, you have to try this. You have to try this. It's absolutely incredible. Plant-based, whatever. That's what everybody does. And I'm not doing that. Like yesterday on my live, I was talking about me and my fat ass and something, 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 but luckily it's not as fat anymore. And everybody was like cracking up. Very straightforward. I'm like, look, I was fat. No, I'm not as fat. I'm still fat. I'm just working on not being so fat. And I got so many questions and responses because they're like, you're so real. And I'm like, let's face it, we're all fat. We all want to eat a bucket of fried chicken. It's just we're going to die. You know, you get old enough and you get inflamed and your knees hurt and your this that hurts. And now it's not, do I look cute in my outfit anymore? Now it's like, can I walk down the steps?
That's pretty serious.
It's a different ball game.
Yeah.
And I talk about that stuff. I'm 52 years old. Yeah, I was inflamed. Look at the way my face used to be. My face was, in fact, I have allergies now. In the last 2 days, a couple people were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have allergies." But I'm inflamed. So I talk about that. I talk about everything. Now, I'm so many years in, and I'm like a little bit more boisterous now. I was like you when I started. I was quieter. I was very concerned about bothering anybody or anything like that. And what I learned is that that walking around the block and engaging with people love when you engage with them.
Okay.
And naturally nosy. I call it the nosy gene. Who's this Brian guy? They're over on your profile. And then as soon as they get your profile, they're going to see something of interest. So I always attract them to me. The reason why I got into attraction marketing is I was so afraid to talk to people. I wanted to get them to come to me. It's how it all started years ago. I just wanted to get them to come to me. Once they came to me and they looked and they asked me a question, like if I asked you a cooking question, you wouldn't have a problem answering me.
No, not at all.
About the kiln, you wouldn't have a problem answering me. But if you go out and talk to people about kilns, you might feel a little weird.
Yeah, if I initiate that kind of conversation, especially like art class or something like that, it's such a narrow field. Not a lot of people even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But if you happen to be in a room of people that love glass work, it's so easy to talk about it.
Right, exactly.
It was I built a circle of influence of people that love the things I love. That's all I did.
Yeah.
I built this one by one, person by person. So now everybody that's around me loves home business. Everybody. So I always say to people, imagine if you started your business and everybody you knew wanted to make money. How cool would that be? How fast could you go? And they'd be like, well, that would be incredible. I was like, well, that's why I recently started a business interest, and guess what? Everybody around me likes home businesses. No rejection.
Yeah.
You have to build it up. You have to build it up.
Okay.
So we have a few minutes left. What is vibrating over there? Buzzing. And I have another one after this, so I have to just take a quick break.
Okay.
Anything else specific?
I actually wrote some notes down here.
Okay. And by the way, what you just learned is so simple and not important. It is the crux of what I do.
Right.
People all the time. And so few people do it on a daily basis consistently.
Yeah, I think I need to make that more of a natural thing for me to do, because I'll scroll through Facebook and I'll look at people's posts and look at comments and stuff. But I just kind of look at it, but I don't take the next step to really engage with them.
Yeah, and that's the issue. What I recommend is practice on some of mine, Brian.
Okay.
I'm always going to back you up. So if you plan and start on any given day, I have at least 3 posts with a couple hundred comments and actions. So there's always room there for you to get in there and so don't just comment back to me or the poster. Talk to the other people inside of the conversation. Because if you went to a party, you wouldn't just talk to the host. That would be weird. I only talk to you, John, because it's your party. I won't talk to any of you other people that are at the party. That would be weird, wouldn't it? And yet that's Facebook. I talk to all the people at the party.
Okay.
That's another one that everybody's missing.
Yeah, so the comment would be more broad comment that would that everyone could relate to somehow.
No, not necessarily. I could be talking back specifically to one of the people.
Yeah.
Or here, let's just look one more time. Let it load. It takes a second.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay. So Olivia says love him and love his cursing. Okay. Says, so I might say you're so naughty.
Okay.
And use emojis, use smiley faces to let people know you're laughing or having fun. Let's see. Love. So I'm looking for people who actually had an opinion or said something.
Yeah.
So I might make a comment at the end that's to everybody, you know, that's for everybody. But here, I'm engaging with individual people.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So where's Kurt? Kurt just said, great pick. Now, I happen to know who a lot of these people are. Kurt is influential. So commenting back to Kurt has more value than commenting back to Johnny Tow Truck, who's never done anything. Shannon Hope is very influential. So I tend to, if I have a limited amount of time, I'm going to be most interested in engaging with the people that have the most influence, like David Fry, who I just commented back to. He has a lot of influence. If you don't, you don't know, but over time you get to know who has a lot of. Tom Challen has a lot.
Yeah.
So I like to focus in on the people that have the most reach, because their and my reach combined makes things go further.
Gotcha.
When you look at me, right, I have like almost 5,000 friends. I always delete them and add them. And I have almost, I have 11,000 followers. Okay. So I have 16,000 people. I want to locate other people that have a lot of reach too.
Right.
Starting, the bigger the reach of somebody that's commenting or engaging with me, the more valuable, because the more things will. It's cute, Ray. And then I got to go in a second, honey.
Okay.
You stop the share, yeah, because I got another. Well, you can watch it though if you want on my YouTube channel. Let me come.
Oh, sure.
Ray Williams, when he first started working with me, all of a sudden all his posts were picking up and he was getting so much more engagement. And he was getting really excited. He was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting so much engagement. And I was like, sweetie, it's because you're hanging out with me. I said, it's my being involved with you is giving you more exposure.
Right.
So the more people of influence are engaging with you, the more influence you start to develop. And people who are skilled at social media know that, so they engage with each other. Nobody thinks it's weird. You know, like a lot of times people will be like, well, why are they commenting on my stuff? I'm like, please comment on my stuff. I want everybody to comment on my stuff and engage. They think that somebody's trying to take something from them, or somebody's trying to steal their customers, or somebody's trying to this. I'm like,
right. I kind of had that the other day when someone took one of my posts and just immediately reposted it.
Yeah, if they share it, that's okay, because it leads back to you. If they swipe the picture and start using it, depends.
Yeah, that gets touchy. Yeah, I've seen that before in the past too, where something that was more of an advertisement was literally just picked right up and then.
Everybody's afraid of me, so they don't do it to me anymore. And say something, and of course I'm pretty influential, so therefore everybody sees that. So everybody's afraid of me. I'm mean, Brian. I'm a very, very mean woman. right, it's 7:57. I have to run. What I want you to do is just sit down with Olivia and think about any questions you have. You can rewatch this session. It's going to be on my YouTube channel. And,
Okay.
and then get back to me and let me know anything else you need. And I'll follow up with you because we did cut it a little short because we got on late. So,
okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And by
thank
the
you.
way, congratulations on everything that's happening with you. It's amazing to watch.
Oh, well, thank you.
It
It's so
just makes
exciting.
me so happy.
Yeah, it's real exciting.
It is exciting, isn't it? And I got to get with Justin. I really want to make a video with all these stories because they're pretty crazy. I mean, even Kim Shahan the other day, who I always thought of as thin, when I saw her pictures, I was like, oh my gosh, so everybody's doing so well. It's a great product.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, it's a great product, and it's actually a real fun group of people.
Yeah, and it's reasonably priced, so it's it's super accessible for people.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I'll see you in a bit. Send my love to Olivia and all the puppies.
Okay, have a good night.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.